So now that I'm a mom, my relationship with my home has changed so much. So I really wanted to sit and reflect on how I could make my space feel more like my sanctuary, like my favorite hotel, but at home. So I gave the bedroom a total transformation and I wanted to kind of walk you through it. So in terms of like major furniture pieces, financially, it didn't make sense to go buy a new bed, new dressers. The ones I had were perfectly fine, but I wanted to lean more into like the Soho House style because going to New York and staying at Soho House was one of the things that Babe and I love to do together. That was like our special pace, and then we'd go have dinner at the RH restaurant, and it was just like a thing that we did. And I was like, let me recreate that at home. So I started by bringing in these green chairs from the living room. So you've seen this in our living room before. These are actually from Anthropologie. I don't believe they sell them anymore, but these are just absolutely gorgeous green chairs. They're very stately, they're very regal, and that's kind of the vibe that I was going for. Our dog sleeps in our room, obviously, and he sleeps in one of these chairs, and so he needed a chair made for a king, and this is that. And I just wanted some color in this space. So at the base of the bed, we have these two chairs here. Then I have this nice like little vase from IKEA. I haven't figured out the florals yet here. You can see them bent all willy-nilly. And then this candle, this linen candle by Magnolia. This was gifted to me, but I love the scent. It's a good bedroom scent. It's not too overwhelming. And I just wanted to kind of inundate the space with texture. So you can see I have my nice 8th generation throw up here. And I love the rainbow fringe. I think that's my favorite thing about this. The rainbow fringe and then the nice orca design. If you guys know, I don't know why you'd know this, but I'm really into cetaceans, so I really like whales. So this is a print of an orca, and I think it's really beautiful. Then I wanted to incorporate that red, kind of like I was telling you I was going to do with this pillow cover here. So I love animal print things, but I like when you see the actual animal, not just the print of the animal. So this is a nice animal print lumbar pillow. I think I got 2 of them. I can't remember if it was a set or 2 or not. And I shoved a pillow in there. This is nice and comfy. So the dog sleeps on the other side and this pillow sits here. I didn't want to do the double pillows because I want him to, you know, do what he does and feel comfortable. And in my ideal world, this would kind of sit up here. I'd have to like fasten a button or sew it, but I kind of like this vibe, just like having that great head support. But for now, this is more than sufficient. So we had these sconces installed, and you can see I'm not fully done because I still have this tapestry up here. I'm one of those people who has to find art that moves me, and we'll talk about that in a second because I found the best piece on Facebook Marketplace. These sconces are still here. I think I'm gonna leave them here because when we move, which is very, very soon, so be sure to subscribe for all the moving content. I want the people who live here next to have the option to have the bed in the alcove and over here, because while the alcove is nice, the placement of the nightstands is kind of awkward, which I'll show you in a second. But I need to show you the real star of the show and the thing that kind of motivated this transformation for me. And for me, that was this art piece here. So this art piece is by a Haitian artist. I think his name is Laurent Casimir. Excuse me if I didn't say that correctly. But I saw this on Facebook Marketplace and I fell in love, but it was in Maryland. So I had my friend Ron, you guys have heard about him. I had him go pick it up, but I forgot to tell the Facebook Marketplace lady that he was coming. Now I had my wife, who is a white woman with long hair, do the negotiating on Facebook Marketplace because I find people to be very racist on Facebook Marketplace personally. So I had her do that, and then I forgot to tell the lady that a black man was showing up. So she was like, Anne, is that you? And my friend Ron was like, yeah, it's me, I'm Anne. But I got the painting and he had to ship it to me, and I just fell in love with it. And Haiti was actually one of the first places I ever traveled to, so I didn't have the privilege of getting a passport or traveling anywhere until I was 16 years old, and I got this scholarship to do a service trip. And I went to the DR in Haiti, the island of Hispaniola, and so it was kind of special to me that I was able to find a painting from a place that was like really near and dear to my heart. And when I saw it, I was like, I have got to design this room around this painting. So I waited and waited. I made mood board after mood board, and I was like, I can't do anything. I can't be actionable until I have this in my hands. Now, as you probably noticed, this painting is a little bit small. So what I did to help it work better in this space is I just put sconces on either side. These sconces are really cool. They're magnetic. So this comes off, it's USB rechargeable. It has a nice little remote so you can put on a timer or whatever, but they're just magnets. So you just stick it back up there and it's good to go. So adding a sconce, like whether it's battery operated, hardwired, anything like that on either side of your lighting is gonna help stretch it. So it's gonna help something that is too narrow appear wider. Now, if something is too tall or, you know, not tall enough, you can also do the same thing, just add something above. I wouldn't do top and bottom, just above. This one's gonna die here, so I wanted to show it to you because I haven't been too good about the charging. But yeah, this painting really spoke to my soul, and I think we live in this world now where people just decorate to decorate, and I've fallen victim to this. I've been a part of this. I've contributed to this, where people decorate just to decorate, and they're like, oh, like this is on trend and I want it. And for me, because I was looking to build a sanctuary, I had to say, what is going to move me? What is going to motivate me to want to make my bed, to be actionable throughout the day, be a good partner, be a good mother, be a good worker, and then get to come back here and relax. And this painting did that for me. And if you haven't found a painting yet that makes you feel that way, or if you've not looked at a piece of art that made you feel that way, you're looking in the wrong places. So let me know if you want a video on how to find art, because I'd love to make it for you. Now let me show you our nightstand setups. Now I've got my dogs out, but at least my toenails are done. So as you probably have seen before, we had closed nightstands there from Restoration Hardware, but I found that my nightstands are just full of absolute crap. Computer paper, random wires, and I was just kind of like, Kiva, you don't need any of that. It's too much. So I decided to go with these open side tables. They're actually side tables. I use them as nightstands, and they pair perfectly with the wood of the ceiling. And I really wanted to lean into these gorgeous ceilings that I'm going to miss. And I just put some coffee table books that I neglected for a few years down here so that I was more encouraged to read them. So upscale downsizing, inviting interiors, just like books that I purchased. I love the way they look, but I've never really taken a good time to read them. And this is Babe's side of the bed. We're not one of those couples who switches sides. That's not us. But on her side, we just have some tissues because she's got bed allergies, and these gorgeous lamps that I got from Home Goods. And I really like these lamps. Let me move this. Because they have that red, they're a little bit burgundy, there's so much movement. It looks almost like the Eye of Sauron, and I'm a huge Lord of the Rings fan. So I'm not a Sauron fan, but I'm a Lord of the Rings fan. So hear me when I say that. I'm not pro Sauron, all right? And I love this drum moment. I love how overwhelming and big it is. It just made it feel like you didn't have to style too much. So we just have coasters, this stuff, and then we're good to go. And then I do have it on a smart plug for her so that she can easily turn it on and off. And I can't remember if I turned this off or not, but I installed these LED light bars that are motion censored that go under here so that when you get up to pee, you have to step really far back to set them off so that they're not always being set off, but it is like a nice little guiding light that isn't too overwhelming. And I have it on the top and bottom. I have it turned off for Babe, but I do have it on my side because I'm the one who trips in the middle of the night. Now let's talk about the rug. You're kind of getting a glimpse of it here. This is a scalloped rug. I love the scalloped look, but I think it can really, really easily look juvenile. So I searched and searched and searched till I found a scalloped rug that I love. I found this one at Home Goods for I think $2.99. It's really, really thick and it's non-slip, so I didn't need to put a rug pad under it. I guess I could have, but we also have this big bed in the way. But it feels great on your feet. It has this checkerboard pattern, and it just adds some scalloping, which I wanted to add via the lights, the lampshades, but it looked a little bit juvenile. I think this one adds just a nice little feminine touch. I really like what would be considered masculine interiors, but I don't think we should bring gender into it. But this is more of like a feminine note that I think really juxtaposes all of the darkness we have in this space. Now, as for the bedding, I didn't really buy anything new. I got these new Charter Club sheets because my mother-in-law had them. I just thought they were so cozy, so I bought them for myself. But comfort is the main thing, right? And I've been trying to read more. When you come see my side of the nightstand, you'll see a Kindle over here. I found myself on TikTok for hours and hours, and I was like, it makes me depressed. It fills me full of information that just makes me feel like the world isn't gonna go on, and I'm not learning anything. So I borrowed my sister-in-law's Kindle, and so I'm trying to only read in the bedroom. You're saying, what does that have to do with anything? Keith, I didn't ask for your life story. Well, the point is, I wanted a bunch of pillows to help me sit up. We do have an adjustable base, but we don't have a split one, and so I'm not gonna make Babe sit completely erect when she's ready to go to sleep. So I have so many different pillows. I think there's 6 bed pillows on here. And all of them are different. So I have down, like hard down, soft down, down alternative, so that we can do all the things we need to do and be comfortable and kind of adjust accordingly. Then I introduced shams to the bed, like Euro shams, because they always have these at Soho House and I just love the look. I think it really elevates the bedding. And then I just have this lumbar from Kohl's. Super simple, very quaint, just like layering on the different shades of brown, because we have brown walls, we have brown in this art, and then we have this brown duvet cover, which is my favorite duvet cover that they do not sell anymore from Pottery Barn. And then I also do have my favorite brown quilt on here as well. And I will truly die on the hill that everyone needs a quilt, because it just makes your bed nice and peelable. So at nighttime, I'll peel this down, and this normally just sits near our feet, and then we sleep with the quilt and the sheet, and then if it gets extra cold, you can just pull the duvet up. But I actually love this. I even went with sheets that are more of a cream than a brown, kind of outside my comfort zone. One, they were on sale, but two, I think they just like really layer on that like earthiness and pair really, really beautifully with the bed frame. I think it honestly complements the color, and you can see if I had gone white like these, this is just too stark. This is too sterile, and that's the exact opposite of what we want in this room. Now I'd like to welcome you to my side of the bed. You can see there's infinitely more stuff, and I wanted to give you an organic look at what goes on my side of the bed. So one, have my Kindle. It'll sit on top of that book. I have a coaster because I bring 1,000,001 drinks in the room. I have this little radio, and every time I go to Soho House, they have a radio playing, and I like the way it feels when I walk into the room and there's sound, because when you travel alone, it can feel a little bit lonely. So I think it's just like a friend. I don't know if that's sad or not, but that's how I feel. And my grandmother always has the radio playing in her home like 24/7, so I think it kind of reminds me of my childhood. But this is a Bluetooth speaker, so it does radio, but it also does Bluetooth. So if I don't want to listen to my Kindle, I will just play my book on here. And it's a great way to wind down before bed, again, to encourage me not to be on my phone. I have the same lamp as Babe, and then I have the sculpture as well. You guys know, I like the human body. I don't discriminate. I have male bodies and female forms in the home. I'm open-minded. And then on my side, I also have storage boxes, because as I said, I had a lot of stuff in my nightstand and it was just too much. And so I downgraded, but also kind of upgraded to these, because they hold everything I need. So I have all of my drugs and things like that in here, and all the things you want on your nightstand, but don't necessarily like want out on display. They fit in here, and then they're just like a nice little touch down here as well. Now we have the corner of our bedroom, and I'll be honest, so on this side of the room, we didn't do quite as much. I moved our dressers over here, and so we each have like a dressing corner, and that's it, because we had too much stuff in here. We don't need all that stuff. So I have an olive tree over there, and then this is Babe's corner, and then in this corner I have this little yellow lamp. I put lots of little lamps around here because the overhead light can be really overwhelming, and they're all on timers. So when the light goes off at nighttime, it's like, Kiva, it's time to go to bed. I'm trying to create almost like a Pavlovian response for myself so that I get the rest that I need, because I was getting, I don't know, 4 to 6 hours of sleep before we had the baby, and now I sleep like 11 hours a night, so 1 fewer hour than she does, and I think I'm much better for that. The vocal fry is crazy. Let me fix that. And in this corner, we have some more books to encourage myself to read them, and then we have this gorgeous piece from Home Depot. It's geometric, it's brass, it really reflects the light. I think it's just like a gorgeous play on lighting. And honestly, there was just already a nail in this wall, and I said, I don't feel like filling this hole, so let me put something there. But that's about it. I do really want to update the art that I have on the wall over there, but I need to come up with a design that inspires me. So when I do that, then I'll repaint it and I'll bring you along for the ride. But that is a fresh look at our bedroom. It definitely looks very different. It's a little bit disjointed from the rest of the home, but I think it also kind of makes sense just because, you know, where you spend your more intimate time, so the time where you sleep, the time where you have important conversations, I think those spaces are naturally a little bit more cozy than maybe your living rooms and kitchens and things like that. But let me know what you think. Do you like the vibes? Do you like the direction we're moving in? I mean, regardless, I do, which is really what matters because I have to live here. But thank you so much for watching. If you liked today's video, please consider smashing that subscribe button, and I will link everything that I used in this makeover down in the description box if you're interested. If you love this makeover and you're looking looking for some design help, I am helping clients again. I do have my design audit where you send me pictures and I critique your space and I send back actionables for you. And then I also am doing a little bit of one-on-one that is a little bit more selective to make sure that we vibe and that I can bring your vision to life, but I'm doing that as well. So if you're interested, that information is also down in my description box and I'd love to work with you. But until next time, have a beautiful day.